Oh, hello. So, as I mentioned many times in my previous videos and also posted in the community section, I have one more set to share about from my riders and bike series. And if you were able to watch my previous video, it's uh, I will be I'll be showcasing Kamen Rider Garren and Red Rhombus. Now, this was supposed to be the first figure that I was going to display or to showcase for the rider and bike series. But since I guess in respect to the first and second Kamen Riders, I decided to put them first to show them forward. But then again, since I only have three figures that have that kind of packaging, and this is the last, and this is the last, I guess, last character that I have for the bike and rider series. For my next other videos, for my next videos, I'll be showing more of the Heisei Phase 2 figures, since I was able to complete all 10 of Phase 2. Now, not all of them will have bikes, so some of them will be featured will just be featured with the figure. Some will also be featured with their secondary riders that I was able to get, but not all of them. So some of them will just have the figures, and some will just have the figure and the bike. But for this, we have both in one package. So this is Kamen Rider Garren and the Red Rhombus. Now, Kamen Rider Garren is part of the Heisei era, but is part of Phase 1. Now, what is Phase 1? So again, the Heisei era is a 20-year period wherein there is a new Kamen Rider every year since 1999. Now, it went all the way up to 2019. Now, the Heisei Phase 2 started with Kamen Rider Double, which was in my previous videos. Now, the reason why it's more or less called a Phase 2, because during Phase 2 there was a change in time slot. And it was also a nice break between Phase 1 and Phase 2, the first 10 and the second 10. While Kamen Rider Blade is the 2004 rider under the Heisei era, and Kamen Rider Garren is the secondary rider. So this is the product photos from the back. Now, you might notice the boxer it's not really in good shape. Actually, I partly got it that way, hence maybe the cheaper price, but the figure is still perfect. Now, Kamen Rider Blade is one of the other series that I'm not really that familiar of. I've only watched a few episodes, but one thing I love about Kamen Rider Blade is the way he does the henshin or the transformation, wherein the gimmick for Kamen Rider Blade are cards. So in Kamen Rider Double, it was the Gaia memory or something that looks like a flash drive. This is more cards. So they use the different cards for different abilities, and also for weapons and for power, to make the weapon stronger. So the one thing I love about Kamen Rider Blade is that he has a card. The way he'll transform is that he'll throw a card out, then he'll run towards that card, and then when he passes through the card, he becomes Kamen Rider. It's one of the coolest ones. Kamen Rider Double, honestly, the transformation's a little bit. I don't find it as cool, but Kamen Rider Blade is one of the cooler transformations. Now, with this name, Blade, he fights with a blade. And with Garren, since he is the secondary rider, he fights with a gun. He's basically the gunner next to Blade, the melee specialist. So there. So let's open the figure. So yes, it's easy to open because the box is a little bit crushed. Now, just like Kamen Rider 2 or Kamen Rider Nigo, this comes in one package, in one plastic, right? So it's not like Kamen Rider Ichigo that's in separate plastics. Now, so what do we have here? Well, we have the bike, we have the stand. It does not have the action stand, unlike Kamen Rider 2. Stand, we have alternate hands for posing. We have his weapon, his gun. the bike, red rhombus, the figure, and a holster. Actually, I tried putting it on, it's pretty hard. With the peg, I guess it might not fit, so we do have a holster. So it's a good value because it has a weapon, even a holster, and a weapon attachment, and additional props. And these props are cards. So let's open. So let's start with the figure. Now, Kamen Rider Garren has a maroon color. I guess it's called maroon, or a little bit like a light green, light pink, or a red. Now, Kamen Rider Blade has the blade which is in his head. Now this is just like similar to Blade, but it's a split in the middle. For me, aesthetically, for me it actually looks good. Now, if you'll notice, I'll put it closer. Parts of his armor has a little bit of these studs. Honestly, it looks a little bit more like bondage stuff. So, and very punky in nature, and it looks very much like a BDSM figure, but not if you're thinking it though. So these are nice. Now, if you remember from the last video with Kamen Rider 1 and 2, or Ichigo and Nigo, they had the shoulder articulation, which in this end is more like a rotary shoulder only. But what this figure has that the two Rider 1 and Master Rider 2 doesn't have, which actually I find better for this, is the bicep swivel. It has a bicep swivel. So for posing it, for posing it for more dynamic poses, you don't need to move the whole shoulder. You can just move the shoulder up and sideways, and then pose the figure because it has a bicep swivel. It's better posability, especially for the bike and also for weapons. So now this is already a prototype for what all the Kamen Riders are right now in terms of posability and articulation. So this is already pretty new since this is already a newer version. So again, it has a bicep swivel, which the other two doesn't have. But everything else is just the same. But for me, for people who like posing their figures and also actually place if they do play with the figures, but for this kind of line is really more for posing. It makes a big difference. So paint applications are great. It's actually pretty solid, pretty sturdy. And as you can see from the previous line, the Kamen Rider 1 and 2 are pretty thin. This is not. There's a little bit more width in terms of the body. Arms are definitely bigger. And but the height isn't that. There's not really much difference with the height. It's more of the width and the body. So this is now more or less a prototype, since the Heisei era features more gimmicks and the costumes a lot bulkier, since they do have a lot more padding. So this is typical of what the Heisei era is, and also what the Heisei era costumes are. Now let's go to some of his weapons. What is curious also is this gun. So this is very detailed. The paint applications, the molds are very different, and it's really, really highly detailed. Now, what even makes it more detailed is for the gun itself. They remove a part. If you remove a part of the gun, it has an attachment wherein his bullets are basically like cards. This looks like a deck of cards which has been flashed. And then when you attach it to the gun, it seems like the gun has cards which you can use to shoot as a weapon. Right? Now, one added feature also, which for me is the reason why the SH Figure Arts line is not for kids, is that they have small details, which are little cards. Yes, they even took the effort to print little cards, and all of them have designs on it. And Kamen Rider Garren has a hand which specifically has this hand to hold these cards. So again, these are some things that you don't really don't wanna lose, because for me it loses part of the value and also loses part of the fun. So that's the thing that makes SH Figure Arts such an amazing toy line, because they really spare no expense and they really put much effort in the detail to even add cards like these. Now let's move on to the bike, the red Rhombus. Now, as I said previously, this doesn't have the action stand in the bottom to make it jump or fly, but nevertheless, it's still a very good looking bike. Now, as you see, it has a little bit more gimmicks, in the sense that normal bike, and they added some details to it. Also, the handles, they do have the alternate handles for this, which I guess maybe it's to make it wider. So unlike the previous one, they do have the alternate handles. They also have the riding stand to make it stable and make so that you can pose it while it's still while on upright, so that it doesn't have to use the kickstand. And it has the kickstand, so that you can stand and balance. Now, in terms of detail, it's pretty basic. It's not as detailed as my other bike, especially not as detailed as a Skull Boulder. But nevertheless, this is a really nice bike. It's actually a gimmicky bike, and since it features a lot of things that's semi-futuristic, but it's a pretty good bike. It does swivel a lot though. It's not as stable as the other bikes when you can stand. It really twists. It really edges. It just goes to an edge. But it's a really nice bike. It's really nice stuff. Right. So basically, this is. I guess it's pretty anticlimactic, since it just took a short time for me to show the Kamen Rider Garren and the red Rhombus, and despite me talking about it for a few videos already, but this is actually the last of my Rider and Bike series. But I guess also this is one of the few Rider and Bike series SH Figure Arts has but the rest of it they haven't continued this anymore. I guess maybe they find it's better, or it's more profitable to sell them separately. Of course, you can charge premiums for both these prices, for both these items, and you can charge them higher. But I'm very happy that I still have these figures, and especially for this, it's really good value. And actually, Kamen Rider Garren is this figure is actually hard to find as well, because not everybody got it, and at the same time, he doesn't have a separate figure. So this is a great value for Kamen Rider collection, even for any toy collector, because you already have the figure, you have weapons, you have ways for different poses, and the motorcycle as well. So it's a complete set. It's a complete package already. Some of the other figures that has that is they have like Kamen Rider Ryuki with the dragon, and but for the more recent ones, they don't have this anymore. But it's something really nice to have, and it's actually one of the few things that I've always wanted to share, since this is something that not everybody has, and it's also something I'm very happy with, because it's a full package. I'm the type of guy that likes to get things in sets, since it feels a little bad seeing one person just being alone. That's why I collect Ninja Turtles as well, and then I don't feel right if it's just one turtle. And I guess it's the completist in me, or maybe I might have a little bit of OCD in terms of having complete sets. But I love sets. I love putting them together. I'm not a fan of one guy, and that's also the reason why maybe I like ensembles. But unlike Kamen Rider, unlike the Tokusatsu, the Sentais like Bioman or Maskman, or Power Rangers, wherein they're 5 equal having equal time. I like Kamen Rider because they have one focal character and then the rest support. I mean, that's how I like things. Maybe I guess as most people might like it as a group, but I like the group in a sense that they're a team, but there's the leader or there's the main. Sometimes the Kamen Rider isn't really the main; they have the people behind him, and maybe that's how I like things, and that's also how I like teams because at least they have a leader. So there, and I guess this is I mean, two videos, one video, two videos. I had a video the previous day, and I'm having one night. But then again, for everybody here, thank you for taking the time to see what I have, and for people who keep watching my videos, for everybody who helps promote the videos. Thank you very much for letting me share my toys and my passion and my hobby to you guys. I do have a lot more stuff that I'm going to show you guys. Maybe I'll complete the Heisei phase 2. But I do want to show other stuff. I do have my Ninja Turtles. I might just go crazy and show it, but show that next. But thank you very much, and for everybody who's currently enjoying the current Holy Week, hope you're having a good week. We're going towards the end of it. Easter's tomorrow, so advance Happy Easter to everybody. I hope everybody's safe, everybody's doing well at least, or everybody's trying to do well. And thank you very much for sharing my passion and sharing my toys with me, and for people who watch. So again, thank you very much, and have a great day, everybody.